Check 1, 2. Good evening, guys, and welcome back to the Global Racing Network. We're back here once again for round number 7 of GRL Season 3 Tier 1. As we wait for the first cars to emerge and make their way out onto track, and the first man to emerge from the pit lane is Reet Physic in the Williams. He's emerged from the pit lane but has immediately let Ivy whiffle through in the Alpha Tauri. So 15 car grid tonight for Tier 1, not the best in the world, but we've had a lot worse grids in the past. So especially in the God, if you go back a year now to GRL Season 1, we had some pretty horrendous numbers on the grid, but tonight we've got about an average grid really. Here at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Very hot out there today, very dry. There's definitely going to be plenty of action out on the track. So it's going to be interesting to see what will happen as we wait for Ivy Whiffle to make his way round for his first lap. I'm just looking at the chat and there's a lot of support for this man this evening in the AlphaTauri. He's just setting himself up for a lap and we're going to go on board with him. Going through the first corner, the final corner should I say, sorry, over the line, and he makes his way up towards the first corner here at the Circuit of the Americas, which is a very sharp hairpin. Gets it tucked in, makes a corner nicely, and makes his way through the S's complex, which was inspired by Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone. I personally still think Maggots and Beckett's is better in my opinion, but there are a lot of parts of this track which are inspired on other Formula 1 tracks that have been built around the world. So Ivy Whiffle, DRS down the back straight. And it's looking a tidy lap so far for him. Heavy on the brakes into the stadium section of the racetrack. And purple in the second sector, unsurprisingly. Nobody's got a time on the board yet. Like I say, it's looking a quick lap this, from ones I've seen round COTA in the past. Heavy braking for the final corner. Nicely out of the exit, 1:33.9 to open up the session. I'm sure we will get quicker as we go, and Reet Physics just on 1:33.4, so there definitely is room for improvement out there, shall we say. DL Branco's just about to come across the line. What's his lap going to be? It's a 1:33.5. Slots in behind Reet Physic for now. Is that you, Tansik? No, it's Colin setting up for his lap, so we'll nip back to NZ Pro, who's going to be, or was coming across the line, but he's got his lap time invalidated. Wreck Diver's just starting a lap. As it'll be the two Hasses to come across the line next. Both currently on the medium compounder tyre. Just Gaming giving his teammate Galgro a bit of a tow. Who I think it is Galgro's Tier 1 debut this evening. I'll have to double check that. Josh Chess Gaming 135.9. Galgro 206.6. So I think he's had a spin at some point during that lap. Pro improving. Vitrosity P3 were 133.8. So plenty of room for improvement there. Who was that off the road? I think that was Ivy Whiffle. It was indeed. There's a Red Bull off in the background. That is DL Branco in the sister team car. Reap Physic has also had a moment. I think he's missed a pit entry looking at that. And indeed he has. He's now entering the pit lane. Tom Goprof in the Mercedes again this evening. What can he do in the early stages of this? Well, Colin ahead of him in the Alpines just posted a 133.3. Tom to run to the line 132.0, but did go very wide out of the last corner, it must be said. I think that might be one for the steward's room, and I think that's exceeding, well, abusing track limits would be the way to put that one. Mandro in the Aston, following Utancic, who's on an out lap. Hopefully Utancic will get out the way. Oh my goodness me, that was a bit too close for comfort. I don't know what he's trying to do there. Here's Mandro. I think they're both trying to get tyre temperature into the window, and they're all just tripping over each other in the process. Wreck Diver P2 132.3, slightly quicker than Colin, so still plenty of time for him to potentially improve. Wreck is not improving on this run. Neither is Colin. He's invalidated. Honesy is just starting a new lap. As he makes his way through the S's. It's not a quick lap though, because he's charging his battery, and he's also invalidated as well, so that might explain it. Utancic starting his first run in the Alpine, on board with him, going through the S's, and he gets it all wrong, completely all wrong. Goes straight on and over the gravel, and I think he's cutting on corners on purpose to try and get back to the pit lane. And who was that contact with? Was that NZ Pro? Yes, it was. So both holding each other up, and Utancic, NZ Pro, sorry, has got a 5-place group penalty for that in the race. Has Utancic got a penalty? I don't know. I'd like to think he has out of that, but that's going to be one definitely for the stewards room, because Utancic, I think, was cutting corners to try and get back to the pit lane quicker, which you're not allowed to do. It does say that in the rule book. It is very dangerous. Nice job. Has just put his first time on the board, 132.9, P3 currently. So Nice Job is up there again, which he has been the last couple of races, to be fair to him. Seems to be finding quite a bit of pace in Alfa Romeo currently. Ivy Whiffle starting his next lap. Flat out through the S's, slight lift, 7th gear down to 6th. And he is improving. He's 2/10 up in the first sector on his best time. So can he find any more time in the middle sector? Fresh set of soft tyres on that car currently. So like I say, it'll be interesting to see what he can do. DRS open down the back straight. On board with him now in Halo Cam, coming down to almost a 90, well, more than a 90-degree left-hander. And this is looking tidy for Ivy Whiffle. This should get him an improvement. Improvement by how much, I don't know. He was 2/10 up in the first sector. I didn't get this quite, wasn't quite quick enough to read the split time in the second sector. But it definitely is going to be an improvement. It's a 5/10 improvement for Ivy Whiffle. 1:33.4, that's his best run so far. Dale Branco improves as well. Sneaks ahead of him actually on the medium tyre. 1:33.3. If you can qualify on the mediums around here, it is a very big tyre advantage coming into the race. NZ Pro over the line. 1:32.8 for NZ Pro. P3 provisionally. So the Mercedes looking very strong round here at the minute. Tomgo Prof on pole, his teammate P3, Wreck Diver splitting the two of them. Still plenty of laps to go yet, with just over 6.5 minutes to go in the session. Trusty just starting a lap in the McLaren, going very aggressive through the S's there. Surprised, though he did get invalidated. My apologies, I thought he got away with it, but he has indeed. Honesy in the Ferrari. Is he going to improve? We've seen some very good pace from Honesy in the Pro-Am Formula Racing League EU division, PAFR Thursdays. Qualified P2 on the grid at Paul Ricard and just slipped down the order so quickly. It was something I'd never seen in quite a long time, and Honesy has got it invalidated. It wasn't an improvement anyway, but just got it invalidated in the last corner. Collins the only one really on a lap at the minute. Heavy braking into the hairpin, and Utancic's been disqualified from qualifying for impeding the pit, for blocking the pit lane. So that is his qualifying session done for Utancic. He will not be getting another lap in this evening. Was that Tomgo Prof I just saw with a spin? Yes, it was. Just caught the tail end of that. Now, where's Colin on this lap? Slightly down. He might be able to get it back in the last sector. We'll see what he can do, or not going that wide he will. And that is invalidated, no, not surprisingly. Honesy slightly down as well. He's on a clean run this time though. Can we see him get up to speed in GRL? Like I say, he's had some very good performances in the Pro-Am Formula Racing League. He's backed out of that one, so not quite gone to plan. Galgro's invalidated. The only man left out there is Vitrosity at the minute, who's dancing his car around that stadium section. Makes his way towards the line. 133.8 is his best so far. This should be an improvement, and it is. It's a 133.3 for Atrocity and brings him up to 6th place. May in the sister AlphaTauri. To the main man, which is Ivy Whiffle. Ivy Whiffle P9 currently. Can his teammate May get up with him? DRS down the back straight. That's one of the Aston Martins getting out the way off the road. I think it's Mandro, and it is. He gets out the way of May pretty easily. On board with May going through the stadium section, and this is a massive improvement on this 158 that he's put on the board already. Can he get himself within the top 10? If he can keep it within the track boundaries. Upshifting quite early, to say the least. Coming out of the stadium section there, just to try and get a bit of traction into the car. Goes a little bit wide on entry there. Keeps it within bounds though. It's very wide on exit. Run to the line, 133.7 for May. So jumps him ahead of Honesy, but he needs to do a bit better than that to try and get into the top 10. Mandro behind is just starting his lap on the softs. He hasn't got a time on the board yet, so he really needs to do it. He'll be starting P14 minimum because Utantic's been disqualified from qualifying, so Mandro will start ahead of one car at least, but he really needs to try and get a time on the board here. Even if it's a couple of places above, it's better than nothing. He heads through the middle sector, round the hairpin. He's going to get a bit of a toe off May in front, which will help him out down this very long back straight. And May gets out of the way. Mandro upshifting very early. Del Branco has just gone second place. We're 132.3 in the Red Bull. Mandro purple in the middle sector. He had a bit of oversteer on exit though there. Is this going to be quick enough to challenge for pole position? The answer is no, because he's got it invalidated in the last couple of corners. Will he try and go again? The answer to that is yes, he will. He'll get one more run, will Mandro. 135, so it would have put him up there just ahead of Honesy, which would have been better than nothing, but he just got it invalidated in the very last stages there. He'll have to sit down and go again. Tongo Prof on a lap. Who have we got coming across the line first? To round out qualifying, it might be Josh. To be honest, I don't know how quickly he's going to get round, or if he's going to get another lap in. There's a Mercedes off the road at the final corner. That is NZ Pro, I believe. Josh Chase Gaming has retired, so he can do no better, I don't think. NZ Pro is the one who's finishing. Del Branco coming around the final corner. Can he improve on his best time? The answer to that is yes, but it's not good enough for pole. It's a 32.1. It's a very good lap, but it just wasn't quite to be for him. And Tom's invalidated in the last sector. Wreck Diver's invalidated. Can anybody challenge for pole? Ivy Whiffle's on a lap, but it's not a quick one. Galgro, what's going to be his split time? Can he get himself up there in the Haas? He's improving slightly, but not by much. He'll get him into the 32s. But I don't know how much improvement that's going to be. Getting a nice toe off Ivy Whiffle in front. Ivy Whiffle gets out the way. And Honesy with the shock of the day. Well, we've seen him put some great qualifying laps in the Pro-Am Formula Racing League. He's gone P1 unbelievably, a 31.7 for him. Galgro's just done a 32.5, so he does improve and sneaks inside the top 10. What a lap from Honesy that is. Unbelievable stuff. And that is the end of qualifying. So Honesy, the shock of the day, 31.7, the only man in the 31s, has got himself on pole position with Tongo Prof alongside him in the Mercedes. Dale Branco's up there in P3, Rec Divers P4, Galgro's P5, NZ Pro P6, Noise Jobs P7, Ivy Whiffle starts P8, Vitrocity's P9, Colin in the Alpine starts P10, Reek Physic starts P11, Josh S Gaming will start P12, May P13, Mandro P14, and Utantic is at the back in P15 after being disqualified from the session. Obviously NZ Pro has got that 5-second penalty looming over him, so he will drop down to that'll be 11th place in the sister Mercedes. So guys, stay tuned and we'll be back shortly for the race. Welcome back guys to the Global Racing Network. The formation lap for round number 7 of GRL Season 3 Tier 1 is underway. And just a reminder of the grid for you then. Honesy, after an absolute flyer of a last lap, has stuck it on pole position in the Ferrari. He's got Tongo Prof for company alongside him. Dale Branco starts P3 today. Rec Diver starts P4. Galgro starts P5. Noise Job in the Alpha starts P6. Ivy Whiffle P7. Vitrocity starts P8. Collins P9. Reek Physics P10. NZ Pros P11. Josh S Gaming P12. May is P13. Mandro's P14. Utantic's P15. And Fazak, after joining the party late, missed qualifying, starts P16 on the grid. So they make their way round to the grid then. 28 laps of COTA to do this evening here in Austin, Texas. It's going to be a warm one to say the least. Track temperature is hot out there. And I did say the mediums might not be a bad strategy here. What are we looking at? Well, 13, 14 and 15 have started on the medium tyres. That's May, Mandro and Utantic all starting on the mediums. Everyone else on the softs. So this could get interesting indeed. Like I say, they make their way round to the grid for the start of this GRL Tier 1 USA Grand Prix. Round number 7 of GRL here on the Global Racing Network. Honesy just slotting into position then in that #1 grid spot. That is going to be his luck then. Down to turn 1, you can see he's already put a bit of rubber on the track just to try and give him that little bit of traction off the line. Will it pay dividends or not? Only time will tell on that front as the final cars slot into position. Pirelli saying it's going to be a 2-stop race if you're starting on the softs. If you're starting on the mediums, you could make that a 1-stop race pretty easily. As we go to 5 red lights here at COTA. And it's lights out, and away we go, and it's a good getaway from Hosey. Tom Prof got a very good start alongside him now. Tom's going to have the inside line for turn 1. Nice job's having a charge up the inside as well as they go through the first corner. Oh, there's contact at the back. That is Galgro in the wall, and he's had a very big off there. I think he just got loose on the curb on exit or had some contact with one of the McLarens, I think, as they made their way through the S's for the first time. They just about get through cleanly. I think there may have been another incident, and it's involving a few other cars. Everyone's just about lived to fight another day through there. As Tom pulls away very easily, gets past Hosey on the start, as we saw down into turn 1. Del Branco's trying to charge up the inside, can't quite get it done there. And who's that off the road? That is, oh, Utansa. Oh no, dear, no, that's well, if that causes a safety car, then there's going to be serious problems for Utancic. You can't crash yourself out like that. Unfortunately, at the end of lap 1, luckily I think he's crashed himself that far off that it isn't going to cause one, and it hasn't indeed, thank goodness for that. But Utancic will be in trouble with that for the stewards, because it can easily cause a safety car, can that? So he'll have a trip to the stewards room. If that was a safety car, that would have been very detrimental for a few people's races. Galgro is struggling to get back to the pit lane in the Haas. He is in, revving the car to say the least. Galgro is actually retired in the pit lane, so his day is done. And who's that falling backwards? That's Ivy Whiffle. Lost the position to Fazak. Fazak going defensive. Obviously Fazak is a reserve tonight in the Red Bull for Lucas Percy, who couldn't be with us. Ivy Whiffle having a lunge up the inside of the sister car. Trying to go side by side with Fazak, and there's contact, and Ivy Whiffle is round in the middle. It was a bit of a late lunge, the door was shutting on him, and it's dropped him right to dead last currently in this race. That's a disaster for Ivy Whiffle, unfortunately. I know there was a lot of support for him in the chat tonight, but unfortunately, so far it has not gone his way. It's Tom Prof, fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Hosey and Dale Branco are doing very well to stay with Tom. They're not letting him get away at all, really. I mean, that's the gap that Hosey is sticking with Tom Prof pretty easily. It looks like Hosey has got a very strong race car around this track. Vitrosity is the first to pick up a penalty this evening. He's got a 3-second penalty for track limits. And May is out of the race, and so is Reek Physic. That looks a serious accident. Virtual safety car deployed, and that's in the S's, so I'm wondering if Reek Physic and May have had a coming together there, because they're both crashed out. I think they may have had a tangle there, to be honest. It seems a bit bizarre. They've both gone off in pretty much exactly the same place. So virtual safety car to clear that one up. whichever one will slow down to a delta pace set by the race director. And then once that incident is cleared, which it is, we should be going back green very, very shortly. And it looks like Tom is trying to extend his gap a little bit here under this VSC, which if you can work the delta well, you can actually do that. Seems like to me Honesy in that Ferrari is trying to burn a bit of fuel, because he is revving that car. Tom is the complete opposite at the minute. He's trying to go in the higher gears. And we're green once again. The incident is cleared. And I think Fazak has made a move on Colin already, and he has indeed. NZ Pro's also made a move on Josh JS Gaming, which he's pulled off. And Honesy is losing time to Tom here. There's Tom in front. DL Branco directly behind, on board with DL Branco. Look at his view, but DL Branco's got Noise Job not far behind either. So this race is not said and done with. There's still plenty of time for plenty of opportunities. DL Branco still sticking with the back of this train. Nice job. Is closing up. Wreck Diver behind has fallen back a little bit. So, unless Wreck Diver, there he is, can get a little bit closer, I think he might be out of this battle. As soon as the DRS train forms around here, he will be in trouble. Who's that off the road? That's Ivy Whiffle again, unfortunately. Off the road. That's down in the stadium section. He's had an issue, unfortunately. DL Branco has had a slip somewhere because he's fallen off the back of Honesy out of DRS range. So is that going to allow Honesy and Tom to pull away together? We'll have to wait and find out. But at the minute, it looks like it is going the way of Tongo Prof. Unless Honesy can do anything about it. Which at this stage in the race, it looks highly unlikely. But Honesy keeping his cool out front at the minute. Unlike what we saw a few nights ago. Mandro and NZ Pro having a scrap. They bang wheels between the two of them. This could get hairy pretty quickly. Fazak and Josh JS Gaming are not far behind these two. Playing cat and mouse with each other between the two of them. Mandro on the mediums. NZ Pro on the soft. Fazak's on the softs. So is Josh JS Gaming. And looks like Mandro, it may have cost him a bit of time here. He's got Fazak all over his rear bumper. But NZ Pro's got a pretty bad exit and has brought Mandro back into play. Mandro will make a move up the inside of NZ Pro. Has he got the move done? The answer to that is yes. Straight up the inside of NZ Pro. And Mandro is up into 8th place, NZ Pro's P9. Still following each other, and that's NZ Pro going very wide. That's going to leave him vulnerable to Fazak. Fazak's got through. Will Josh JS Gaming sweep through as well on the outside? He's going to try and do it, and he's got the move done. So NZ Pro falling backwards here very, very quickly indeed. And just a slight mistake in a pack like that, and you can just lose a handful of positions all in one go. Meanwhile, back at the front, The battle for the lead is intensifying as Honesy has got within half a second of Tom Go Prof in front. DL Branco's half a second behind Honesy. So the three front runners, if you had Noise Job in there, they're separated by less than 2 seconds. So this is gonna heat up very, very quickly indeed. So right on board with DL Branco. Will Honesy get a good enough exit and get DRS on Tom Go Prof to potentially make a move? He's going to have a think about it. Tom sitting in the road just normally at the minute, not sensing any danger. As we'll ride from DL Branco's point of view, as this battle looks like it is going to change. Colin and NZ Pro are into the pit lane, so they are making their mandatory stop. They're going on to the mediums, so I think they will have to stop again. You won't be able to do 21 laps on mediums from here, so Colin and NZ Pro will have to stop again during this race. I got a yellow in the middle sector. That's Joshua Gaming off the road. He's regained his composure and got back on though. Oh, and Honesy with a big lock up there into the hairpin. Just saw the front left lock up quite severely. So he looks to try and make a move here on Honesy, and in turn Honesy trying to make a move on Tom Go Prof sooner rather than later. Who is going to be the first to flinch in the pit stop windows? That's going to be the question. As DL Branco still sticking with them pretty easily at the minute. Noise Job is climbing back into the equation. Honesy is all over the back of Tom now. Surely it's going to be now or never when he's going to make a move. He just needs to get a better exit somewhere, Honesy, and he will have the opportunity to make a move. Now Tom, if he's not careful, could be very much a sitting duck here, with a very large DRS train forming behind him. This could be the moment where the lead changes. Honesy with DRS, DL Branco with DRS behind. Tom's going to be a bit of a sitting duck. He's charging his battery. Honesy to the inside. Will Tom try and outbrake him? He did try and outbrake him, but Tom has to tuck in, and Honesy is into first place in that Ferrari. So it could have gone a lot worse than that. Noise Job is joining this four-way battle for the lead as well. Will Honesy try and pull away as quickly as he can, or will Tom try and make a move back on him going up towards turn one? And the answer is Tom has decided his tyres are done. So Tom Go Prof into the pit lane then for his stop during this race. Is he going onto the mediums? The answer to that is yes, he is going onto the medium tyre. So where is this going to bring him out? I think it's going to bring him out behind Fazak by the looks of things. And it is indeed. There's Fazak just going through. There he is. And Tom has slotted out behind Fazak, so that wasn't the greatest pit stop in the world. It's brought him out ahead of everyone else who's already stopped, which is a positive. Would have thought he would have gone out ahead of Fazak there, but he just didn't quite get a good enough stop to do it. DL Branco is going to have a challenge for the lead and swoops past Honesy even before the corner there. So DL Branco inherits the race lead in the Red Bull. Honesy will look to try and fight back at some point. And is plastered all over the back of that Honda powered Red Bull. And Del Branco has flinched in front of Honesy. So Honesy will retake the race lead. Del Branco is now in. Are Honesy and Nice Job going to try and extend the stint a little bit, just to see if they could potentially do a one-stop in this race? It would be a gamble, to say the least. They would need to get to at least lap 15, I would say, if they're going to try that. If they want to try and do one stop less over the rest of the field. So Del Branco's come out behind Tom, but ahead of Wreck Diver. So that isn't a disaster. The only four who haven't pitted so far are Honesy, Nice Job, Mandro and Vitrocity. They have been on them tyres since the start of the race. Mandro will be trying to go a long way in this race though on them medium tyres. He will be trying to do a one stop if he can. And I think Honesy and Nice Job are trying to extend their stint a little bit here, just to see how far they can push them tyres. And Nice Job has now flinched. He is into the pit lane. So Nice Job coming in. Honesy still staying out there. Clearly thinking it's not the right time. And the minute, Honesy is 15 seconds clear. So he really needs to pull the bullet out really and put some lap times down if he is going to try and do this one-stop race. Because at the minute he's not safe to Tom Go Prof, who's in 4th and will inherit the race lead. So that could be interesting come the end of the race. And Honesy does now flinch and decides it's time to come into the pit lane. I don't think he's going to get out ahead of Del Branco, who's currently leading, who's actually just got past Tom actually. No, he's not, by a long way. Mandro into the race lead. Honesy, I think, is even going to drop behind Nice Job here, and he does indeed. So Honesy down to 5th at the pit stops. Mandro's still trying to go a long way here on these older tyres. Obviously he did start on them mediums, so he can go a lot longer into this race. On board with Tom Go Prof, who Del Branco has just got past him, but whether Tom will try and fight back, I'll have to wait and see. Lock up there from DL Branco, quite aggressive lock up actually. But Tom holding his ground there as much as he can. Trying to stay pinned to the back of DL Branco, and he will try and make a move at some point. It's just a matter of where and when. Honesy in the meantime is trying to get past Nice Job. Honesy really struggling for a bit of grit there, struggling to keep up with Nice Job. He's having to really rev the engine just to try and get some power into the car through these corners. Nice Job made a little bit of a few mistakes there. This may allow him to make the move. Tom Go Prof has just dispatched of DL Branco into the hairpin. So will Branco fight back with DRS? The answer is no, because Tom's got it in front of him. But DL Branco is using his ERS. Will he have a lunge up the inside? The answer to that is yes. Tom gives him the room, and DL Branco might try and fight this out. Cuts back to the inside. Nose to tail between the two of them. Will DL Branco will have another lunge up into the inside, into the hairpin. Great racing between these two. Mercedes versus Red Bull once again. And Tom just about stays ahead there in that Mercedes. But DL Branco will get DRS down the front straight. If Tom doesn't get a very good exit here, he could be in trouble. Tom diving for the wall, saving his battery as well. This could be DL Branco's opportunity. He's not quite close enough on that occasion, but Tom goes a little bit deep, and DL Branco closes back onto him. Tom is charging his battery there. You can see the red light flashing on that Mercedes car. That means he's not pressing the overtake button, which he may be trying to save it up for the straights to come. Now he is using it, and now he's not. He's back to that flashing red light again. DL Branco, DRS once again for the Red Bull driver. He's got a bit of a slipstream this time. Will he have a go on Tom? The answer is no. Will Nice Job have a go on Honesy? The answer to that is no either. So Honesy's still defending that one well after getting past. Mandro's still going on them mediums. See, yes, a good idea is to go as long as you can into the race, but this could leave him very exposed very shortly. There's Mandro up the road actually, so he's not that far away from these lot either. Mandro could really do with a safety car. That would bring him into play. Whether we will get one or not remains to be seen. As DL Branco still trying to make a few moves out there, but it's not quite happened for him at the minute. Tom very much doing well to stay in front. Tom still charges his battery. Josh S Gaming is out. That is a crash, and that is a safety car. That is absolute music to the ears of Mandro in that Aston Martin. He can now do a one-stop race on them tyres. Ivan Whiffle's just about to come crash where Josh has crashed. Oh, he's gone hard into the wall on the inside there. Damage to the wheel, unfortunately, and that has really rendered his race. Now Mandro surely is going to be in. Yes, he is. He's not going to try something stupid. No hesitations. Tom's also in. Dio Branco in. Nice Job is also in. Honesy staying out. He did pit very later than the others. Wreck Diver's in. So Mandro's going to come out in second place here, with everyone pitting apart from Honesy pretty much. So it's worked out for Oh, Mandro's gone to a set of softs. I think that's an error. I think that is a big error indeed. That's going to leave him so vulnerable at the front, is that. Others around him have gone onto softs. I don't know what the strategy engineers are thinking there. I would have whacked on a set of hards and tried to get to the end of the race, really, but Mandro playing a different kind of ball game. Honesy only just pitted, so he's going to stick on the mediums a little bit longer. Catapulted him back to the front anyway, which is the main thing. So we'll wait for the rest of the field to catch up. We'll take a quick break, guys, and we'll be back shortly for the restart. Welcome back, guys, to the Global Racing Network. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. And Honesy currently still leading the way then. Everyone else on fresh tyres behind him. What is going to happen? Who's going to get the better getaway? Honesy's gone very early indeed. And we're back underway here at Kota. He gets the jump on everybody else. And it looks like Dio Branco might try and make a move on Tongo Prof into the turn one. Has a lunge up the inside. He might get Mandro as well. Mandro's gone very deep indeed. Side by side between the two of them. Dio Branco's going to try and stick it out, and Mandro loses it off the road. He manages to keep it out of the wall just about. Had a big wobble there indeed. And had to back out. That's Dio Branco. 2 positions in the space of 3 corners there. And can go hunting after the race leader, Honesy. Lap 18 out of 28. Some of these soft runners might be able to get to the end now, to be fair. The safety car has lasted quite a while. Dio Branco's going to try and make his move. No DRS as of yet. Will Honesy try and send one up the inside and stick it out? Has a look and thinks better of it in the end. So Dio Branco is into the race lead. Nice job side by side with Tongo Prof. Gonna try and go the long way round on him, and he's got it done as well. Nice job up to 3rd place. This is not going Tom's way once again. He's had quite a lot of rotten luck this season in GRL. Honesy's still leading the way. Nice job behind, Dio Branco leading the way. Honesy coming under attack from Nice Job, and Nice Job's got the draft on him and gets the move done. Past Honesy into turn 1. Tom is next to try and dispatch of Honesy, but it's going to be such a DRS train if they're not careful. Dio Branco pulled out of this DRS train, so he could potentially try and pull away here. Dio Branco seems like he's got better pace as it stands. Nice Job will try and stick with him as much as he can, but at the minute it's not quite going his way. Wreck Divers having to go defensive from Mandro here. Mandro's going to have a fight on him. Up the inside he goes, and Mandro is through into 5th place. Maybe the softs weren't a bad idea after all. Really rubbish at predicting strategy. Tongo Prof staying with this group. Dio Branco, fastest lap of the race. Oh, and that's Honesy in the wall. Honesy is in the wall at the first corner, at the final corner, sorry. Has he picked up wing damage from it, or has he got away with it? I'm not sure. The answer to that is he's kept it out of the wall and he's got away with it, but he's dropped him right down to 9th place. That's a disaster for Honesy, is that. And unfortunately, that could be him out of the big point scorers once again. Our pole sitter has had a nightmare during this race, and it's not quite got his way. And what's happened there? There is a big accident. It's Petrosity, Colin and Ivy Whiffle all involved. Honesy will get past a lot of them. Oh, and Ivy Whiffle spun, and so has Honesy again. This is turning into absolute chaos. Has the track become really slippery all of a sudden? I doubt it, because there's no rain on the track. It's a completely dry racetrack. Is somebody leaking oil somewhere? I can't see how that would happen in the F1 game. There's people spinning off all over the place. Unless the track has just become hotter all of a sudden and the tyres are not liking it and really struggling to get the power down. Or putting the power down a bit too early, should I say. As Wreck Diver struggling to catch up, he's lost the back of Tom Go Prof and Mandro here, so Mandro is still trying to make his way back through the field. Tom is ahead of him currently. Will that change soon? Well, Tom has, I think, just about got in Nice Job's DRS on this occasion. We'll soon find out if the flap opens. The answer to that is no, so Tom wasn't close enough at the detection line. This could put him under pressure. Mandro needs to make the move sooner rather than later if he's going to do it, and he sends it up the inside. And he can't do it there. Tom defends it well. So he just about lives to fight another day there, Tom. Fazak trying to get past Petrosity. It's not quite happened for him either. Tom Go Prof out of DRS range and Nice Job again in front here. So Nice Job is starting to break away and try and get after the race leader, DL Branco. 2.8 seconds is the gap. And Mandro glued to the back of that Mercedes. Is this going to be one of the first times that we see Tom Go Prof not on the podium this season? I don't think he's finished outside the podium positions this season so far. I'll have to double check that, so that might be a first of the season for him. Tom with the red light flashing, not DRS again. This is Mandro's opportunity if he's going to try and make the move. There goes Mandro flying through and he gets the move done on Tom Go Prof. Mandro up into third place. I'm just looking, this will be the third race in the row that Tom Go Prof has finished outside of the points. If he doesn't do it today. Outside of the podium, should I say, sorry. For the third race in a row, and it looks like it's going to happen that way at the minute, based on the way that this race is going for him. Mandro's next target is to try and get past Nice Job here. They're both on the same amount of tyres. Everyone's got 3-second penalties. We need to look at the penalties now. Well, Tom wouldn't actually nick inside the points because Mandro is on a 6-second penalty here, so that would drop him down the order to 4th as it stands. Mandro up the inside of Nice Job, gets the move done with DRS assistance. Will Nice Job try and fight it back? Nice Job doesn't really need to fight this battle. He can kind of let, as long as he stays within 3 seconds of Mandro, he will have second place. So whether it's a battle worth fighting, I'm not sure. See, Nice Job is on the slightly fresher tyres, but not by about half a lap. As we head on to lap 24 out of 28, 4 to go in this GRL United States Grand Prix here at COTA. Tom almost goes into the back, a nice job there. Tom really needs to make this move on the road, really. On nice job if he's going to do it. Nice job just needs to stick within 3 seconds of Mandro and he'll be okay. Yellow in sector 3, that's a crash from NZ Pro. Is that going to bring anything out? I'm not sure, we'll find out what's happened. Oh my goodness me, NZ Pro is on his roof! I've never seen a crash like that in Formula 1, that's a huge accident. If that's not a safety car, I don't know what is. That's a huge crash for NZ Pro. But the marshals have got it cleared away somehow. That's a heroic effort, is that. But that's one of the worst crashes I've seen on this game so far. I've never seen a car flip over like that. That is a first. I'm sure a first for many people in this race and watching this race on the stream as well. Nice job, doing very well to stay with Mandro still. Tom go prof. Still staying with these boys as well as we close into the very last stages of this race. Tom using all the ERS he can and it's just not quite working for him at the minute. Nice job doing his job and just staying with Mandro, which is all he needs to do to try and win this race, take second place, sorry, in this race. As it stands, as long as everybody finishes, everyone scores points here. Because we've had six retirements in this race, which means there's only 10 left on track, and everyone, as long as they finish the race, everyone will get points today regardless of where they finish. On board with Tongo Prof once again, and nice job is still with Mandro. As it stands, as we're right on board with him through the S's. Lapped car off, Honesy getting out of the way, unfortunately. It's just not been his day for the pole sitter. Not a lot has gone his way, to say the least. But as long as he finishes this race, he will get a point in the championship, and a point is better than nothing. So I think that's why he is carrying on. He has just made a pit stop for a fresh set of softs, I think. Why has he gone out on... He's gone out on intermediates for some reason. I don't know why he's done that. Unless he just wants to stop spinning because of the tread pattern on them. He's gone out on a set of inters for some reason, but I'm sure he will care to explain that one when the race concludes. We're about to head onto the penultimate lap, and it's now or never for Tom if he's going to pass. Nice job to what would be third place on the road, but second overall by the time the penalties come off. So Tom really needs to make this move within the next 2 laps He's doing very well to stick with Nice Job as it stands. As they make their way through the S's once again. Nice Job drifts a little bit wide there, just about keeps it on the road though. Tom using all his ERS as much as he can just to try and close in. Oh, has a big kick of oversteer there, just has to correct it. Just about lives to fight another day, but Nice Job's got DRS to defend. So it'll be impossible for Tom to try and make a move there. He needs to be a bit closer than that if he can manage it. And we go on to the final lap of this GRL Tier 1 United States Grand Prix, round 7 of GRL. And it's now or never for Tom Prof. Is it going to be free? Well, in fact, it won't be a finish outside the top 3 for a third race in the row, because Mandro has got that penalty to come off at the end. So Mandro will drop down to 4th by the time that penalty comes off. But we need to stick back to this man in front, DL Branco in the Red Bull. He's driven a spotless race once again. He is about to take his 3rd win of the season in that Red Bull car. His last win was quite a few rounds back now in Saudi Arabia. And he seems like he's going to take his next illustrious win here in GRL. It looks like he's going to win the United States Grand Prix as he rounds the final few corners. Strategy played into his hands. He started a bit lower down on the grid that he wanted to on 3rd place, but he's absolutely delivered. DL Branco wins the United States Grand Prix here in GRL Tier 1. Mandro will come home for 2nd on the road, but it won't be good enough. Nice Job comes home for P2. Tom comes home for P3, ending his streak of finishing off the podium. Mandro will come home for P4 with penalties. Wreck Diver has come home for P5. Colin will come home for P6. Atrocity is going to come home for P7 in the McLaren, couple of places behind his teammate. McLaren the only double point scorers today in this race. Well, big double point scorer should I say. Ivy Whiffle's home in P8. Fazak will be the other double point scorer in the Red Bull, and Honesy will come home in 10th. So guys, plenty of action up and down the order there. And once again, it was another very good day for the Red Bull team. DL Branco taking the win here at COTA. Lifts the trophy on the podium and the champagne begins. DL Branco, 3rd win of the season for him, and it's a perfect way to wrap things up. Guys, thanks very much for watching, and we will see you next time.